on the recording. So if you are not there, so they can watch the recording later on. No, some days like a leave, but then I enjoy so much in your class that I changed my mind going in the class. Okay, you all have such positive
I'll
vibes.
call him until he. I'll continuously call him now.
Mama, he must
To
be
irritate him.
sleeping.
Mom, he sleeps till
Okay.
only 10. He told me this. He sleeps till 10 and then wakes up at 11. Sleeps till 10 and then joins the class after his brush and breakfast.
This was the one we are going to go with, right, Shumela? Gold, gold, gold.
No, this is not mine.
Wait.
This was mine, ma'am. Her
Explain
voice.
it.
Okay. This
Her
one.
was.
Autobiography, yes.
Yeah, this.
Okay, so we'll start with the autobiography. I have sent you the grammar quiz. Please make sure you all attend it and share the scores with me. I was doing it with Tesla an hour ago. So you have done that in the class. If you want me to do it in the class, let me know. We'll do it also. But
You
not
can do it in the class.
whenever, yeah, okay. But whenever there is maximum attendance that day, not today. There are only 4 of us. So I want everyone to, just have a look at it and get benefited, because then looking at the recording and seeing what everyone is answering and guessing, that's not good. I want everyone to be present and then answer. So Tesla also had an extra class today, but full attendance. Okay, chalo. No worries. Those who have missed the class, they will watch the recording. You start.
In August 2009, Mike Parham ignored the advice of the head of the Royal Yachting Association and sailed solo around the world. He was only 17 years, 5 months, and 11 days old. He therefore became the youngest person to sail solo around the world. His book, Sailing the Dream, is his autobiography. It tells the story of his amazing voyage. Here is an extract of from the book.
Voyage.
Midnight, the boat flew over the raging southern ocean. In the darkness, everything inside rattled and shook as the surf the monstrous wave. The speed, it was amazing. I was setting new records by the minute. 26 knots on my surfboard. Sailing boat in this wild sea was just insane. It was like hurtling down a wet, narrow lane in a Ferrari at 150 km per hour. Not for one moment.
After you read certain lines, then you explain them, then you go on with the next one. You have prepared it, na? So wherever you get stuck, don't worry, I will help you. But try explaining these lines. Line by line, you can go 2 lines, 3 lines, or a paragraph as you have done. But you have to explain this. Don't just read it out simply. Okay? Okay, so what is the first paragraph trying to tell? Trying to say? Yes? Shumela? Okay, you can try, my dear. Midnight, the boat flew over the raging southern ocean in the darkness. What is the meaning of this?
The boat is going in the southern ocean at night.
Very good. Okay. Everything inside rattled and shook as she surfed the monstrous waves.
The monstrous waves were there in the sea.
So that means there were monsters in the waves?
Yes.
Yes?
A kind of
There were monsters.
waves.
No, the waves were monstrous. They were huge.
Yes.
They were very huge waves, and they were very scary. So like when there is bad weather, so this happens. Okay, everything inside rattled and shook. Okay, so everything just we can say was turned upside down, or it was just moved a lot because of the waves that were coming. Okay, the bad waves due to the bad weather. The speed, it was amazing. I was setting new records by the minute. So what is he doing?
He was making new record by the minute.
Yes. Okay. Then 26 knots on my surfboard is sailing. 26 knots on my surfboard, sailing boat in these wild seas was just insane. It was like hurtling down a wet, narrow lane in a Ferrari at 150 kilometer per hour. So he's comparing his sailing experience on a surfboard in the wild sea. Like wild sea means not the wild animal type sea, like this, as the waves are like they are monsters, they are they are very huge waves. That's why this they are calling the sea also wild. Okay, because the weather is bad. Okay, so is the sailing in the boat in the sea, is comparing it with a travel
Ferrari.
Ferrari at 150 kilometer per hour. Okay, what is the meaning of hurtling? For example, there is a narrow lane, okay, and hurtling means to move like with a lot of speed in an uncontrolled manner. Okay, when, for example, if you don't keep your legs on the brake. Okay, those who drive, they must know this, that in the cars we have brakes near our legs. So if we don't keep our leg on the brake, then what will happen? Suddenly the car will, and there is a narrow lane that is downside, so the car will start to move. Yes, with full speed.
Yes.
Yes, so at 150 kilometer per hour. So he's comparing that experience with his sailing experience. So he's saying that I'm feeling like, I'm going in a Ferrari and it's a narrow lane and I'm going uncontrollably, like on uncontrollable speed. Yes, continue, please, Shumera.
Not for one moment did I wish I was on dry land. I was scared for sure, but not panic. Panic is not something I normally associate with the ocean. It's where I feel most at home. It's uncontrollable danger and dangers are
Dangers are an unavoidable. Unavoidable. Is she speaking? Can you hear her?
what, ma'am?
Yeah, dangers
Yes.
are unavoidable. You're stuck.
Dangers are
Yes, yes, continue. You are stuck there. We couldn't listen to you after that. Continue.
I'm having some internet issues.
Okay, no worries. You speak right now. We'll see if there's some internet issue, then someone else.
Yes. It's uncontrollable. Dangers are an unavoidable part of the life of a capable ocean sailor like me.
Okay. What is the meaning of this paragraph? Can you explain in brief?
Yes. He was scared, but he didn't panic.
Very good. And he says that panic is not something I associate with the oceans, because he's not sure, he's not panicking. He does not, usually he does not get panicked when he's in the ocean and he's sailing.
Because he's feeling that ocean is my home.
Yes, very good.
I wagged myself inside the cabin at the chart table, which was the safest place to be in this condition, attempting to go anywhere on deck was just asking too much of my safety harness, and I didn't want to risk it. I tried to work on the chart. It gave me something to do instead of just worrying about the condition, which were forecast to continue for at least another 24 hours. Everything else was soaking wet, but I was okay. I had my fabulous dry suit and it was working a treat.
Okay. So what did he do?
He
He
waked himself in the cabin at the chart table.
wedged. Wedged. Do you know? Anyone else? Anyone can help her. The meaning of wedged.
Wedged. Um,
You can explain giving
Can
a
you scroll upwards a little?
yeah.
like there is a gap and then you put
Ma'am,
something in it to open it.
Correct. Yes, yes. Someone else was also speaking.
forced into a narrow place.
Yes, when you know you acclimatize like yourself in small places there and you adjust yourself there. Okay. So what that is what he has also done. He just adjusted himself inside the cabin. Cabin is very small. Okay. And he started uh which was the safest place to be in these conditions. Why? Because if he tried to move here and there, he would need his safety harness, what is written, all the tools that we use for safety. So he did not wanted to risk that, because if for example if is wearing a safety harness and is going from one place to another in the ship, what will happen suddenly, there might be a huge wave and he might lose all his belongings. So he does not wants to do that. That's why the safest option he finds is to wedge himself inside a cabin. And he started to work on the chart, so that instead of worrying, that what is going to happen next, he tries to get himself involved in doing something about it, which were forecast to continue. Okay, the conditions were forecast to continue for at least next 24 hours. So the weather was going to stay the same for next 24 hours, because as per the forecast, everything was wet around, because the water has, some of the water has already entered in, but he was dry. Why? Because he was wearing his dry suit and it was working a treat, means it was working very well. Yes, Shumal. Yes, Shumala, please continue.
The freak wave that came thundering through the darkness from the port side must have been an enormous breaker hiding away in the cabin. I didn't see it coming, but I had a 1 minute warning. Its deafening roar, it scooped the boat up and slammed it flat on its starboard side in an instant. Helpless, all I could do was hold my breath and some
Somersault.
somersault with the boat as my world was flipped upside down. The fear that hit me was instant. The noise was ridiculous. The boat creaked, groaned, rattled, and screamed.
Okay. So what is this paragraph trying to explain us?
A freak wave came thundering in darkness.
Freak wave. What does he mean by a freak wave?
A large wave.
Yes, a very large wave. It is very like it's abnormal. You don't know it's going to come, and it's very we can say abnormal is the correct
Very
word.
unexpected wave.
Yeah, and it is unpredictable that it's going to come. Okay, suddenly there's a very huge wave, which is unpredictable, that came thundering through the darkness from the port side. Port side is the left side of the boat. Okay, must have been an enormous breaker, hiding away in the cabin. Because he was hiding in the cabin, he couldn't see it, but he had a 1 minute warning about it, that the wave is going to come. It's deafening roar. So when there's a very large, very huge wave striking your boat, so it will, of course, it will make a very huge sound. So its deafening roar, it scooped the boat up and slammed it flat on its starboard side. Starboard side is the right side. Okay, so the whole boat was shaken, shook, and it was
What is the left side called? Called.
port side, and starboard
And
side,
right side is starboard.
starboard, yes, and left is port side. Here it is written that the wave hit the port side. Okay, so then the boat, we can say, was almost tilted towards the starboard side, towards the right side. In an instant, he was helpless, because all I could do was hold my breath. Okay, he can calm himself, and somersault with the boat as my world was flipped upside down. So he was, terrified maybe for a moment, because these are certain times, if the boat will tilt completely, there are chances you might sink. The fear that hit me was instant. Now, he just got terrified out of this. The noise was ridiculous. The boat creaked, groaned, rattled, and screamed. So the boat is making different types of noises, because it must have lost some of its parts also, right? When there is such a huge wave striking the boat, it will lose some of its parts also, because of the huge wave that is coming. So the noise was also very ridiculous, and it left the boat very shaken and very disturbed. Okay, so this was about Mike Perham's autobiography. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Any word you didn't understand out of this, just have a look once again. Come on. Make sure you go through all the bold words also, okay? Because these are very important. I might ask you that in the exam. Have you went through this? Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Sure? Did you even go through it?
Yes.
Wait,
What, ma'am?
did you just even go through it to look for any doubt?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I
Ma'am,
didn't even
it
need to
takes
go
two
through it.
seconds to read everything.
No, I remember every single lesson
Okay,
and
very
what happened in it.
ये मेरे एक्सपर्टीज के बाहर है, सो इसलिए आई एम आउट.
okay. So who was going to explain this?
Too much Shark Tank India.
Yes, I've heard this dialogue. Okay, who's going to explain this?
I already explained 4 of the lessons.
ये मेरे एक्सपर्टीज के बाहर है, सो इसलिए आई एम आउट.
Okay, out of
Again, no.
whom did I
You are
tell?
out of Sampark Advait.
I told someone to explain this. Now I forgot the name. Do you remember?
मोहम्मद काजू.
No. It was Fatima, I think.
No, not
Or
Fatima.
Mariam.
Not even
No,
Mariam.
not Mariam. Neither Mariam nor Fatima.
Saqib.
Mariam was absent. Saqib was
Saqib.
absent that day.
Ma'am, you will
Tabish.
also play Kahoot with us.
Tabish, maybe Tabish. Yes,
Ma'am, you will
I know.
He's
I
also
not here.
join Kahoot.
I know. Oh, I know. Okay, wait. Let me
You
just
have
check
to join.
out what. I'm not denying.
ये सब दोगलापन है.
See, how does he get the proper dialogue as well?
It's feeling so weird when Advait is talking in Hindi in the class, Literally.
Yes. Okay. Who was going to explain this flood and the other poem? I remember very well this poem and the next.
मोहम्मद काजू.
Muhammad Kazu.
Okay, so this is for Mohammed.
Ipan काजू.
So that will be for Tabish. This will be for Mohammed. So Mohammed, do one thing. Just explain the tornado right now.
Ma'am,
Short one, and then
why doesn't anyone turn on their video? Not even one single single soul except me. Everyone else's video is off.
Everyone else is in a very sleepy mode. They are lying on their bed and they are, attending the class. Maybe that's what
Mom,
I.
how are they sleepy? What? It's 7 a.m.
Here it is
here, and still
11:30.
I am not sleepy.
It's 11:25 weekend.
Who said I'm sleepy?
Mom,
Okay, see, Shumela is proving that she's not sleepy. She's turning on our video. Okay.
I
Yes,
can't.
Mama.
I'm here, ma'am.
Okay, please explain the tornado.
Yeah. The tornado, swirling round and round, sucking up the earth and ground. Swirling like no, like going round and round. Yeah, you can see. Swirling. They are like matching words. And sucking up the earth and sucking up the earth and ground. That means it is pulling the earth towards like into it. Yes. Okay. And wind so strong and sky so black, it will destroy all in its track. So
A lot
wind so
of dust,
strong, like
There's a lot of dust when a tornado comes, right? So
yes,
that's why it is said sucking up the earth and ground.
and wind so strong. So when like a tornado comes, there's a lot of wind around it, which can suck things, or it has a lot of wind,
Hmm.
and the sky becomes a little black near it. It will destroy all in its track if something comes close.
Yes.
What?
It will
If
destroy
it,
everything that comes in its way.
yes, like if it keeps moving and if something comes in its way, it will pick it up or it will destroy it. Danger, please beware because tornadoes do not care.
Okay.
Uh, that is self-explanatory.
Okay. So that is self-explanatory. Correct. Okay. This is about tornado. Make sure you go through all this. Here we have, like, as in grammar part I'm saying, here we have this model verbs, simple, compound, complex. Okay, indirect, direct speech. There are many topics
why
throughout.
can't you hear the bed slap?
We can.
Okay, bed slap.
Then here it is suffix and prefix. Okay, make sure you just revise all these topics that are coming between the chapters very thoroughly. Creative writing, whatever I have written, nothing will come out of that. Okay, only those topics will be included. So make sure you follow the format, because if I see any mistake in the format, I will cut.
Mom, Kahoot now.
Yes, sure. I'm just saying that if I see any mistakes in the format,
Okay.
creative writing, I will have
Mom,
to
I
cut
thought
that.
I had to do one more after the tornado.
You have to do one more, but now it's 11:30, so we'll just take out. Okay,
Okay.
you continue.
Mom, which Kahoot? There are so many options.
Now you are going to choose that. Do you want me to continue, be with you, or shall
Peep,
I leave the
you
class?
will play with us. You
Okay,
will play with us.
okay.
Everyone